Hey guys, it's Cece, and today I'm here to do my May book haul. So I have some books here that have been accumulating at my house for the past couple of months while I've been away at school, like arcs and stuff, so I have a bunch of those, plus I have purchased a few new books since I've been here, and I'm going to show those off as well. But first I wanted to address something because a bunch of people asked it in the comments of my last video, and I should just explain it now and get it out of the way. What many people asked recently was, why is my Snape Funko Pop facing backwards? You're all right. He is facing the wall. I explained this a lot of months ago, but I know it's been a while, not everyone's watched every video ever, so I'll explain it again. I think Snape's an interesting character, but I violently hate everything basically that he did for the entire series. So while I appreciate the character, that's why I have the Funko Pop, but he made terrible decisions for his entire life, and so he faces the back wall because I'm mad at him, and that's how I deal with it. We clear? Okay, now we can get into the book haul. So first we are going to cover some arcs. I've received 3 arcs at my house since I've been gone, so let's just start with those. The first book is a book from Albert Whitman & Company. They actually sent me 3 books, but I had my mom send me 2 at school and keep the other one here that I will get to eventually, and the third one that they sent me was Hurricane Kiss, and this is by Deborah Blumenthal. This already came out. It came out like May 1st, I believe. Basically, I believe that this book is kind of about a hurricane that is going to be hitting Houston, and so people are escaping, and apparently, whilst escaping, people fall in love. So, I haven't read this book yet, but this was an arc sent to me by Albert Whitman & Company, and I will get to it eventually. Next up, we have an arc that I actually requested, and I am so glad that it got sent to me, and that is 3 Truths and a Lie, and this is by Brent, Hartinger. I requested this book from Simon & Schuster, and I'm so happy that they sent this to me. It comes out in August, which is very exciting, and I'll be reading this closer to that release date. Basically, this book is kind of a thriller. On the back for the synopsis, there are 4 truths listed, and it says that 3 of those things are right, and 1 of them is a lie, and there are all these very different weird things. So yeah, this is supposed to be just kind of a thriller, and it's going to be sort of intense. There is also a gay character in it, I believe, which is why I requested it, because it was a thriller with a gay character. I was curious. The one thing with this book, though, is that, you know, YA books have bigger print, but this book has, like, middle grade size print, which is interesting. But yeah, I'll be reading this closer to August so that I can do a full review around when the book is coming out. And the last book I have here you've already seen in a few videos by now, and that is Fireflies Stars by Audrey Coulthurst. You guys know? Because I won't stop talking about it, I won this arc in a Twitter giveaway. This book does not come out till November, and it's really fantastic. It's about a princess who's engaged to marry a prince, and then, instead of falling in love with the prince, she falls in love with his sister. I've explained this book a lot of times, but it was really great, so I'm glad I have it. I read it, and I will be doing a review, but I will not be posting that until at least a few months closer to the release date of this book. Next up, I want to cover some books that I actually ordered a few months ago. They've just been waiting here because I didn't ship them to school. I just sent them here so they could be with the series they belong with. But all 3 of these are books I've already read and just did not have copies of. So first of all, I completed a series I finished my Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. I read the Percy Jackson books back in junior high, and I read them all from the library, so I didn't have my own copies, and it's been a lot of years, and I finally completed my set. So the books that I have acquired to finish off my Percy Jackson series are Book 3, The Titan's Curse, and Book 5, The Last Olympian. I had the other 3, just needed to finish off the series because I'm planning on rereading it this summer, so now I'm all set. I have my full Percy Jackson collection. Is it the spider? Is it the big black one? And the other book that I acquired that I had already read and just needed a copy of is The Hostile Hospital. This is book 8 in a series of unfortunate events by Lemony Snicket. I have the whole collection, but I had books 8 and 9 in paperback and the rest in hardcover, so I've been trying to find 8 and 9 cheap in hardcover to replace my paperback copies, and I found it. So, 1 book away from having the whole hardcover collection. But yeah, I found this at a used bookstore, super cheap, and it made me very happy. Next up, I have 2 books that I just recently acquired in a subscription box. It was my book box. I did an unboxing, which you can go watch if you want, but I thought I would just haul these because I got them, they're new books. The first of those is a Frontpage Affair, and this is a Kitty Weeks mystery by Radha Vastal. It is a debut mystery following a woman during World War I who wants to be a journalist, but things aren't working out super well because she is a woman who wants to be a journalist, so she's writing just like gossip columns and stuff. and then there's a murder, and she decides she's going to solve it so that she can be a journalist. But I'm super excited for this book. It is a mystery. I appreciate that it takes place during World War I instead of World War II, because I feel like so much historical fiction it takes place in World War II. So I'm very excited about this one, and I'm very glad that I found it, because I never would have found it without having it sent to me randomly. And the other book that I received in my book box was The Crown's Game by Evelyn Skye. This is a young adult fantasy set in a Russian-inspired world where there are two enchanters who have to battle to the death because there can only be one of them, and they also happen to fall in love. So lots of night circus vibes, plus a sort of different sounding fantasy world, and I'm very curious about this one as well. And I showed this off in the video, but I just have to talk about it again. The spine is beautiful. I love it. Okay, we are on to the last 3 books that I have here. So a couple of weeks ago, I did an unhaul. And I talked about a ton of the books that I got rid of, and I sold like a third of them to a store that also sells used books, and they gave me store credit, and I bought 3 books with that store credit, so let's just talk about those. My TBR shelf is feeling a little full, so I didn't want to get 3 new books because then I wouldn't have room for them and that would make me sad. So the first 2 things that I bought are both books that I've read already and one of my own copies of, and that is books 1 and 2 in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy by Laini Taylor. I read this series back in November, I think, and I really, really enjoyed it. It is very different and interesting, and the writing's totally beautiful, and I knew that I wanted my own copies, so I saw these for cheap and I grabbed them. I really love the covers on these books. I know some people enjoy the UK editions more, but I kind of like these. I kind of appreciate how these look. And the best way that I have to describe these books is just the first little page right here, and it says, "Once upon a time, an angel and a devil fell in love. It did not end well." These are super interesting books. I really enjoyed them, and I'm excited to have these too, and I just need the last book in the series now. And the final book that I bought in May, or that I need to include in a haul, so you guys know that it exists on my shelves now, is Cress by Marissa Meyer. This is the 3rd book in the Lunar Chronicles series, which I am so excited about. I started reading this series this year, and I have kind of just been reading 1 book in the series every couple of months. I've kind of appreciated spacing it out a little bit, honestly. Usually I'm a marathon a series kind of person, but I've enjoyed spacing these out. But I enjoyed Cinder, I really enjoyed Scarlet, and I've heard so many people say that Cress is their favorite book, which this is definitely the biggest one yet. I know that it doesn't beat Winter, which is like insanely huge, but I'm still super excited to have this one. To be honest, I'm worried about Winter because I decided I wasn't going to buy it until it comes out in paperback, but that is gonna be one big book. 800 pages in a paperback. Like, this one is 550 pages in paperback, and it's fairly big, so I'm terrified of Winter. But overall, the moral of the story is I'm super excited to read Cress at some point. Okay guys, there you go. Those are all of the books that I've acquired over the past few months and just wanted to catch you up on so that you know everything that's back here on these here shelves. If you've read any of these books, let me know what you thought of them. I mean, I've read a lot of them too, actually, which makes me feel really good, because usually I do book hauls and I'm like, man, am I behind? But I've read most of these already, so that's nice. But if any of you have read them and would like to share how you feel about them, please do in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!